Hi everybody, my name is Christopher Alm. I'm going to be your Psych A Alt teacher this quarter, and I'm super excited to have you here. We're going to be learning about how our brain functions, how we interact with people, and how we store memories. It's a fun field, and it gives a lot of opportunities to go through and self-reflect on why you do the things you do, why we remember the things we remember, and so forth. So this is a fun course for students to do some self-exploration as well as exploring the field of psychology itself. So I'm going to go through and introduce myself, talk about some of the course expectations, and go through all of that so that we can be prepared to start this course right off on the right foot. So I start off with introductions to myself because as you are probably learning as a new student or already know as a student who's been going to iSucceed for a while, it's hard to build personal relationships in online courses because you're not physically present with people. So any opportunities that you have throughout the semester where you can go through and say, hey, hey, I'm doing this, or I'm going on this trip, or here's some pictures or things that I was going through and doing. It's cool to see you out doing the things that you love because then it goes through and builds that bond as we're going through and learning about this stuff together. So to introduce myself so that you can know me, my name is Christopher Alm, of course. My wife is Julie. She's an art teacher at Lighthouse Christian in Twin Falls. Myself, I teach psychology here for iSucceed, as well as I teach during the daytime at Kimberly High School. I teach honors government, I teach freshman algebra 1, and I'm also the head librarian. So I keep pretty busy. My wife and I are both busy teachers. So our kids, very busy as well. Allie and Colt are my step kiddos. They're both in high school. Colt's a freshman, Allie's a senior, and Tiberius, our youngest, is the one that's in the middle picture. He's almost 8 years old, and he's a second grader at Lighthouse. So when our family is trying to spend time together, we try to go out and do stuff instead of staying at home. So some of my favorite things to go through and do, I love to go hiking and fishing, especially fly fishing. Love spending time outside the best that we possibly can together. When I'm home, I like to have projects to work on, like working on my motorcycle, a trailer I'm building, or restoring old cars is kind of a hobby of mine. That's a hint, hint for the video question here in just a minute. But that's kind of me in my life. And I look forward to learning about you and the things you like to go through and do. For recommended pacing, if you're new to iSucceed or a seasoned vet at this point, you want to keep in mind that you have to set a specific pace in order to get done without a lot of stress. Some students try the whole I'm not going to log in for 7 weeks and then try to cram for the last two, and rarely do they make it across the finish line with a passing grade. So the recommendation is 2 to 3 lessons a week. You want to go through and aim for this because if you can do 2 to 3 lessons a week, by the time you get to week 8, you're already done with the course, and your final week is just revising and resubmitting any work. So here's kind of the breakdown of when you'd want to hit those milestones. Course details, you have 4 units with 20 lessons. Remember, if you're completing a lesson, especially for attendance, you're supposed to do about 10 lessons a week. So a lesson is everything inside of it. So there may be a discussion and a checkpoint and a reading. If you complete all those, that's one lesson, not just one assignment. So 2 to 3 lessons a week recommended. You have checkpoints, which are 20% of your overall grade. You have 3 attempts for each one of these. Discussions, unfortunately, I see a lot of students blast past discussions, but these are valuable moments where you can share your ideas and you can see the ideas of other students that are inside of your class. And if you're kind of like hung up on a discussion point, if you wait just a little bit for other people to post, you can kind of see some of their ideas too. When it comes to projects, you go through and you have, actually there's an extra project that I'm looking to toss in if I can get it ready this quarter, where you'll go through and you'll be exploring and thinking about different abnormal psychologies or things that are disorders in the mind. Those are 20% of your grade. Video assignments, these are where you watch me talk about certain different things or help you with different projects. That's worth 10% of your grade. Workbooks are worth 15% of your overall grade. These are little checkpoints smattered all throughout the course. You have an unlimited number of attempts at these, so get 100% on those. And my favorite new thing we started doing this year is called Psychology in the News. I oftentimes had students in the past say, well, I kind of want to have my own self-exploration. You give us all this stuff, but I want to look at my own fields that are relevant to me. So in Psych in the News, you go through to different psychological newspapers or journals and you just look at the different news events and you pick an article that is of interest to you and you summarize it, you share it, and you talk about your thoughts on it or apply it to real world examples so you can demonstrate understanding. The feedback's been great. Students have been enjoying these because you actually get your own free discretion to discover whatever you want. So like with my family, they have a lot of ADHD in it. So I would be looking at articles that taught me more about ADHD or other things like that. You get a lot of freedom, or caffeine addictions or playing too many video games or whatever. You can look up whatever you want. Okay. My contact info is here. You can email me or chat message me, which is the best way to get a hold of me. My phone number is 208-738-4155, but this is a Google number. So usually text it is the best way to get a hold of me because during the day I can't always answer. And I have several different days that you can go through and organize and schedule live office hours with me. So other than that, you now are going to get to your first assignment, that is video assignment here on the course. It says, if you only had one person in the world that could hear you speak, who would it be and why? And so if you suddenly were rendered only able to communicate with just one person for the rest of your life, everybody else couldn't hear you or understand you, who would you choose to be your representative, your voice, and your confidant? All right, everybody, I'm excited to see your answers and get to meet you. Take care.